What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Summer Career Mode. It is episode number 47, returns today on the back of our win in Paris to guarantee top spot of the game to go in the Champions League group stage. Today we'll play that, it's Porto at home, meaningless game with top spot locked up, but we'll see the draw for the last 16, and we'll play 6 more games in the league, possibly 7, as we get to the official halfway stage on the back of back-to-back draws, now 3 behind Manchester City, and home to get back to winning ways, and hopefully do it in our first game today. Yeah, Bristol City away at Aston Gate. Might have just won in Paris, but again, back-to-back slip-ups in the league. That's got to be put right here at Aston Gate if we are to keep pace with Guardiola's side. Let's start today's off with the win. Come on, you Royals. Bristol City are one of the championship sides that often do make the Premier League in my saves. Despite not being as that's a wonderful goal there by Don Ballard. Not one of the strongest in the second tier. You know, the likes of Leeds and Southampton and Burnley and Sheffield United, when they're down in the second tier, they often go back to the Premier League year in, year out, really. But Bristol City are one of the teams that often join them in my saves. And they've got some decent players, don't get me wrong, but I noticed Coventry, and to be fair, Preston North End as well, often make the top tier as well as... They've gone in front here and shown they're good enough for the top level. This is why. Yeah, outside of the obvious 3, Leeds, Southampton and Leicester, the ones that I do see make the top tier. Oh, what a goal that would have been. More frequently. Bristol City, like once they go up, they might go down straight away, but you'll see them again. Do you know what I mean? They'll come back again. They always seem to do so. But yeah, Coventry, Middlesbrough as well. I'd like to see more variation in promotion teams though, because I very rarely see, as Espria does, firing the leveller. One of my guys, for example, Millwall, Ipswich Town never make it. Never make it. Well, I've done it in real life, but never make it. I'd like to see a bit more variety in that regard. And yeah, not always the same ones going up. I know it's based mostly on rating, but even so, yeah, I'd love to see one day Millwall make it in my save, man. I really would. I've never had it before, not in a career mode save. In one of my FM saves, can't remember which one I was doing. I want to say my Cardiff save. Millwall got promoted without my help in the second tier, and I was ecstatic. I was absolutely ecstatic about it, honestly. And I remember when they went up, I was like, oh, they're probably going to go straight down again. They won't have the resources or the quality. And in the first season, they finished in 7th. Absolutely ludicrous first season. And I was just like, why can't I make this save my reality? Do you know what I mean? Oh dear. It's Don Ballard, who's caused me problems all game long, has his shot saved by Bennett, I should say, and it's still 1-1. This has been a tough one, man. Like I said, Robin's there, often back in the Premier League in my saves. And in this game here, really struggling with them. 53 minutes in, set for our 3rd draw in a row in the league. This is not going to keep us with Man City. How often do I say it? These are the games you look back on come the end of the season and say, this is where we didn't win the title. Never mind a draw at Stamford Bridge or a loss at the Etihad. No one's going to mind too much about those results. But you got to win these ones, man. Home or away. Bonky gun. Anderson! Yes! Oh, Wilhelm having a brilliant season for us. Drills in the winner with 9 to play. Come on! Wilhelm's numbers this season are what you call steadily solid. They're not going to set the world alight. They're not going to see him set records. But the contributions, both with goals and assists, are helping us stay in the title race. With a winner late here at Aston Gate. I tell you, he's a player, man. He's a player, Wilhelm. I love him. And after the game, just realising that Tyler Binden, something I recommend you guys do quite often is go down your squad list and look at the player status and see where you can find some red thumbs down. And if you can, change those red thumbs down into green thumbs up. Tyler Binder, my captain, I didn't realise this, but we haven't given him a contract since the start of Season 2. He's still on £2,500 a week. I didn't even realise it. But he's not even piped up once, man. I do wish that players would at least kind of ask you for a bit more money on occasion when it is realistic. Of course, I'm going to give him a new deal now. Stay on crucial squad role. But of course, give him the pay packet he deserves. But I'm not saying that players should always be chirping up for new contracts. I understand that the game does need to be streamlined. But when you've got a player like this, club captain, led us to the Premier League and FA Cup final last year. 83 overall, just 23. Good enough for practically any team team in world football, and he's only on £2.5 a week. Yeah, these are the moments where I do wish that EA would, just put a bit more realism into the save and say, I think this player should be on a bit more money. He definitely is now. Yeah, I'd say considering our financial problems off the pitch, which have been well documented, 50 grand is fair. Maybe a little bit under what he's truly worth, but again, because of our financial restrictions, I guess he's just got to accept we can't give out mega money, at least not yet. Anyway, following game is ready to get back to winning ways in the league and get back on the top of the table as well. Actually on top for the first time this season, now aiming to stay there. Sheffield United at home, what should be a banker. Come on, you Royals. Yeah, you've got to make sure the game remains streamlined enough for those that are purely casual players that really, I often think of casual players as my brother, so I've said this a few times now. My brother, massive football fan, massive Manchester United fan, massive gamer, but he doesn't get the time to play it anymore. Very, very busy bloke, got lots and lots to do, and he only really gets time for like a couple of hours a week. You can't make much of a dent in a career mode, say, with a couple of hours a week. We all know that. And, the idea of him having to spend those 2 hours sorting out so many things off the pitch, if you will, with the contracts and the new coach management screen as well. Come on, man. That's not for my brother. Do you know what I mean? That's not for the pure casual player that doesn't have enough time to play, So, of course, things do need to be somewhat streamlined. But I wish there was a way, as Ryan and McGree bends in the opener, I wish there was a way to kind of modify the experience you're going to get. But also, I wish there was a way where you could delegate those things for the assistant to sort out behind your back. Do you know what I mean? Like in Football Manager, for example, you can delegate practically everything to your assistant manager or one of your coaching staff to deal with these things behind your back if you ain't got the time to do everything. For me, I love to do everything on Football Manager apart from set training up. I can't stand setting training up unless I'm orchestrating a team bonding session, as you guys know I love those. But yeah, for those that haven't got the time to play, they can just delegate practically everything. I'd like to see EA do that with career mode as well. Let the assistant manager just delegate everything practically automatically, so you haven't got to worry about it. And if you want to, you can just play the games. The off the pitch stuff, that's sorted out for you. Yeah, I mean, my brother, I love my brother, obviously, and he always does the same career mode every year. Manchester United tries to return him to the glory days, but it always seems to run out of time, unfortunately, before the new game comes out, and he's not even done a season yet. That's just the unfortunate nature of getting older, having less time, but yeah, I mean, what am I going to do when he texts me and says, "Oh, mate, I just beat Barca 4-0 in the Champions League quarter-final. What am I going to do? How are your contracts looking, bro? Have you given new deals out? Made it realistic?" He ain't got the time for that, So, yeah, that's something that I do wish that EA could look into. Delegation for those that don't have as much time to play. As Catalano whips out to Egan Riley, and we still lead by 1. It's been a poor game so far, but hey, listen, I'll take the 1-0. I'll take another 1-goal victory if it means we have back-to-back wins and stay top of the table. CJ stepping in, finds Catalano. There's McGree. I've got Bond fitting in at left-back in this game. In behind Aaron Trusty, pegs it back. Femi Aziz with the second. Lovely little build-up, lovely passing move. Great cut back to the middle, and Femi Aziz with a great finish as well. Reading 2-0 up. To be honest, that was not the best of games there. Quite uneventful. Other than the 2 goals, we'll take it. Back-to-back wins in the league, staying top of the table, and 3 wins in a row in all competitions. Exactly what we wanted on what was consecutive draws. Reading back on a roll. But after Man City won big, even that victory wasn't enough for us to stay top of the table. Yeah, we dropped the second on goals scored now, let alone goal difference. Goals scored, incredibly tight to start the season off, approaching the halfway stage with 3 teams separated by 6 points and 7 separated by 10. Long way to go, and still anyone's guess as to who will be crowned champions. But got to keep winning to keep pace with the league leaders. Next up, Aston Villa away at Villa Park. Unai Emery's side. Come on, you Royals. Always a tough game, Aston Villa away, especially under the recent resurgence from Unai Emery. I have said before, I do get frustrated when managers sometimes get sacked a little bit early into their tenures in their positions, but one of the calls that I definitely did agree with, and it's proved to be a very good decision, was to sacking of Steven Gerrard. It was a couple of years ago now. I could not understand what they were trying to do there at Villa Park under Gerrard. Didn't seem to make sense, didn't have an identity, didn't have a clear vision, if you will. As Anderson clips the post, it goes across the goal line and behind for a goal kick on the other side. That's a collector's item. But since Emery has come in, they've never looked back. And that was one of those decisions where it's tough when a manager gets sacked reasonably early and don't have as much time to lay down a vision, but I think that was one of the moments where it definitely was justified. So he replaced Dean Smith, and that should not have gone in. Yeah, I think he was only there for about 10 months, maybe, about that. I know he was sacked early into his following season, but I mean, Villa are such a big club, and I think sometimes we forget that. Like, I know it sounds a bit obvious, but they're such a big club, and obviously with their relegation in the Championship, and then coming back to the Premier League, I mean, they needed to have what you call bigger aspirations. And so when MRI came in, they had grand ambitions of getting Villa back into European football. And it didn't take them very long to establish a new identity, start to be more ambitious, and start acting like the big club they are. They are a big club. As Keita's shot is saved by Martinez and Villa get it away. And in this game, down by a goal and needing to respond here to stay with Man City. Come on. Don't let recency bias fool you, man. Aston Villa are a big club. Always have been, always will be. European Cup winners in 1982, several First Division titles as well. Granted, none in what you call the Premier League era, but they still count. Several FA Cups as well. And whilst their glory days might have again been a few decades past, this is still a big club back where they belong in European football. And I'm pleased to see it as a neutral as well. It's never nice when you see a big team really struggle, fall on hard times, and again in Villa's case recently dropping into the second tier. Great to see them back where they are. And I remember when I was a kid, they and Everton were always battling for that like 4th spot. What a ball that is in the Premier League as Phil Howard takes it all the way and it's denied by Emi Martinez. What a ball that was. 57 minutes in, still down by 1. And they've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world still here in this save as well. Emi Martinez, man. Absolutely class. Yes, but he ain't going to keep that one out. Keita at the far post, bit of head tennis there, but he nods in at the back stick. Well, Keita's first goal for the club, not enough for us to turn the game on its head like at Ashton Gate. And 2 points dropped on the back of back-to-back wins, and that is now 3 draws in our last 5 league games. We are not going to keep with pace with Man City on this run of form. Villa Park always a tough place to go, but listen, man, if we want to be back-to-back champions, we got to win these tough games. And heading into the following game, which is match day 6 of the Champions League, obviously totally pointless because we've already locked up top spot. So lose 6-0 or win 6-0, it does not matter. We're guaranteed to finish as group winners. I'm going to do something I haven't done in the entire save so far, and you basically never, ever see me do, and that is simulate the game. And the reason I'm going to do this is because very quickly, I wanted to have a quick chat about this. Sometimes I get asked, Doxy boy, how do you stay motivated to play all the games? Why do you never sim? I don't think there's anything wrong with simulating at all. I want to be very clear about this. Just because I don't sim doesn't mean I think there's anything wrong with it at all. It's complete personal preference. I just prefer to play every game. Whether you sim the occasional game, whether you sim meaningless games like this, whether you sim most of the games, whether you sim all of the games, it does not matter. You play the game however you want to play it. I just prefer to play for personal preference. But for those that have not got career mode and don't know like how to sim or what the simming entails, well, basically there's 2 ways of doing it. You can do a sim like this where you can watch the game in 2D play through, and if you want, what you can also do is press the square button as the game is going on, and you can jump in. So you see the ball's just dropping out of play there. It doesn't need to be even out of play for you to jump in, and you can then play the game after a period of simulation, and then after about, let's say, 5 minutes of in-game play, if you want to start simming again, you can press the options button and jump straight back to sim. So it's really cool, to be fair, how you can watch the game unfold in 2D, like in a classic Football Manager view, if you will, and then jump into play the game if you want to try and, for example, stop this attack and stop Porto from going in front, which they almost did. But if you also don't want to watch the entire game in 2D or play it, you can then pause the game and then jump to the result as well. So this is one thing I give EA a lot of credit for. As you'll see in the end, we draw 1-1 with a backup side. It's really cool now. Simulating is so much better than it used to be, and I give EA a lot of props for that as well. So there we go. We are through to the last 16. We'll see the draw directly afterwards, and in the last 16 of the Champions League, got to get it the old-fashioned way, Reading will be taking on as group winners Sevilla, away from home, the Europa League specialists who have won that competition more than any other. But Sevilla in the Champions League last 16, I definitely think we can get through that, as it was PSG that came through with us in the end in second place, beating Ajax on match day 6. Oh, you are joking. You are joking. And, well, this is something that I don't give EA props for. How often do I say this, man? Listen, I give EA props when they deserve it and criticise them when they deserve that as well. Zeki Amdouni, boss, gotta be honest with you, think me not getting games starting to damage my career. Really, Zeki? Really? Not getting the game, son? Last year, our top scorer, probably my player of the season. This year, you are our top scorer as well. You've played 14 of the 16 Premier League games and 5 of the 6 Champions League games. You've missed a grand total of 3 games this season outside of that Carabao Cup meaningless game. What? What? Let me say it again. What? Come on. EA, seriously. I just gave you praise and now I'm going to criticise you. I'm fair with it. You were never going to play the Carabao Cup game because that is a competition which we don't care about. That last Champions League game we'd already locked up top spots. There was no need for you to play. And the 2 league games you haven't featured in have when you've been a little bit too tired. Are you serious? Like, come on, man, honestly. That is one thing I really hope EA have worked on for next year's CM. Right, following game, Fulham at home, 2 points behind Man City on the back of the draw at Villa Park, aim to get back to winning ways here in Berkshire and possibly go top of the table once more. Come on, you Royals. Yeah, listen, I don't mind if it's justified. Not at all. If Amdouni had only played half of our games this year, I ain't going to complain about that. But when you've played all but 3, 2 of which meaningless, I mean, come on. Shirkin goes down the left-hand side. And now back to Zeki, who, you know, whilst he's still here, I'll still be playing him as Anderson is denied by Bender and Fulham get it away. I just wish there was a way to talk players round, if you will. As soon as you get that email, it's game over, quite literally. And I just wish there was a way you could have a chat with them and say, come on, do the maths, you know. God, all the career mode chat today, all the feature discussion today. You'd love to see this as Anderson pokes it through to Gurev, and surely it should be one. Hold on. Easy money. Femi, take your time, son. There we go. Nicely done. And Reading do have the breakthrough. Well, I hold all the cards of Amdouni. He's got, I think, 3 years left on his deal. If not, then 2.5. So plenty of time. I don't have to sell him. That's the thing. We're going to get some bids in January. They'll be from some big clubs as well. But I don't have to sell him if I don't want to. I might just keep him here against his will and say, no, you're not going anywhere, at least until the end of the season. If we are, to try and win that back-to-back league titles and the domestic double as well, I'm going to need him. I'm going to need him up top. Shirkin, Esprit up. Gurev. Amdouni's on. He's on. And Amdouni, go all the way. But don't score. Roll it across for Anderson and make it 2-0 instead. I might be the petty king now that Amdouni has done that and not let him get another goal. Just assist instead. Can't be the case when I'm going for wins though, but this one definitely wrapped up now. In no danger of throwing away from here. Wilhelmer, 5th league goal of the season. Having a really smart season for us. Makes it 2, and that will do it. Reading returning to winning ways on the back of what was technically back-to-back draws against Aston Villa and Porto. Perfect response. Boss, just wanted to say I'm grateful he kept me in mind even when I was out injured. I'm really glad to be back. That's a point. That's a point. He missed one of the league games early this season because he was injured as well. So that's actually, I think there's only one game that he would be aggrieved not to have played in the Premier League. Because obviously the Carabao Cup and the Champions League game, those 2 were pointless. So it's only really one league game you can be aggrieved about. Zeki. Oh, it's just a ruse, man. He just wanted a big move elsewhere. No doubt about that. Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll sell it outside of England to a big club. If it's someone like a Bayern Munich, Kane's left, so that would make sense. Or a not to a big Premier League side, but a Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, Barcelona last year CL winners. PSG, maybe if they are to sell Mbappe at some point. We're going to get a bid every single day. Maybe Inter. Yeah, I'll sell him, but yeah, not to a Premier League rival, that's for sure. Including these guys following game. 3rd hosting 2nd. Arsenal away in North London at the Emirates. As we remain neck and neck with Man City, only separated by just a 1 goal. And Arsenal not too far behind and could catch up with a big win at the Emirates. Big contest next. Arsenal away. Come on, you Royals. I'm also not going to sell him for anything under, I'd say, 80 to 85 million. I think in this market, he's probably worth that. So, yeah. Especially because you've got to remember, like, that value is subjective. Oh, Docs, don't start this nonsense again. Like, so just shut up. Like, honestly, you've already rambled on all day today. Don't start talking about all this subjective nonsense as well. what value means to one person might be completely different to others. Just shut up and concentrate on the gameplay, yeah? 10 minutes in, great save by Bennett, and he's certainly worth at least 80 million to me, that's for sure. I love Bennett, man. Lee Kang in on the run through the gap. And Pino, oh, what a tackle, Reggie, as we should get the danger away. Still leading by, still tied at 0-0. I feel like if we do lose Amdouni, it is going to be a real struggle to replace him as well. Yes, we'll have the money, but as he's sent through there, again, the reason why we didn't sell him to West Ham a couple of years ago, we could have got a really good fee for him on the back of only 1 year here, is because, I said before, he is literally just a perfect player for our system. It's not just the goals he gets, but the assists as well. He's right now top of the assist charts in the Premier League. He's perfect for our system, and that's why, again, if we are to sell him, we're not just losing his direct contributions to goals by putting him in himself, but also the assists he gets as well. As Anderson has his shot blocks, it will drop to Reggie, and he'll take aim from a tight angle. Oh! The name's Bond! Reggie Bond! Third league goal of the season, and he's an absolute thunderbolt. That shot power almost took the net off. Goodness gracious, I thought, just test Carnesecchi. Just test him, get a shot on target. Goodness gracious, rip past the number 18. He didn't even have a chance to see it. Whistle past his ear, into the back of the net. Reading lead courtesy of Reggie. Mr. Bond, I didn't realise you could shoot like that. Goodness gracious, Reggie Bond, there's nothing secret about his game today. He's been flying into tackles, blasting in a shot from range. It wasn't like he snuck up from behind unmarked to tap in, like you'd expect from a secret agent. No, he just absolutely belted it. Like a rocket, RPG busted out of his back pocket. And as we still lead by 1, this is going to be possibly biggest win of the season here, I'd say. Even bigger than that Man City game that was so early on into the season, because we can't afford to have another slip up in what has been a really tough run. We have to win this. We have to hold on. Wilhelm given space. He'll try a Bond himself. In the end, Carnesecchi gets gloves on this one as it remains at 1-0. 63 minutes in, still leading. Trying to close out a big 3 points at the Emirates here. Mate, today's episode has been absolute chaos, honestly. It's been brilliant, honestly. It's fantastic. We've had a simulated game, a Reggie Rocket. We've had a star striker request a transfer. So it's all been kicking off today. The draw for the last 16 in the Champions League. First time going into that as well. And this will be the dagger for Zeki. And he'll sign off, to be fair, as still a Reading fan favourite. It's a bitter end to his time as a Royal, but we'll still be thankful for his service. Never would have won the FA Cup 2 years ago without him. Never would have won the Premier League last season. And we wouldn't be playing in the Champions League last 16 without him either. He might be ending in bitter circumstances, but he'll still be remembered as a fan favourite. And I'm going to try and negotiate with Inter for Amdouni as well. The thing is, when does he turn 87 overall? Because if he does go up a rating, that will see his valuation increase as well. If I can get him up a rating in the next, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe? Oh, no. That's when balance actually does lead to quicker growth. Very rare you see that. But, yeah, I still think personally he's worth over 90 million, in my opinion. You saw it there in that game against Arsenal. He's a big game player, always gets the goals, top of the assist charts right now. So, and because I hold all the cards with a long time left on his deal, I'm not selling him for any less than, I'd say, 90 mil bare minimum. So I'm going to go right at the top end to begin with, £100 million. And we'll see if Inter are willing to meet a big valuation. No. But in my opinion, again, I don't have to sell him if I don't want to. Just because he's requested a transfer doesn't mean I've got to give him one. So, no, Inter is sticking to it, and I'm going to stick to my guns. Guys, well, do you know what? I'll let you have him not 1 million cheaper. 1 million cheaper, but not less than that. They say, no, forget it. I hold all the cards here. He might want to leave, but he's under contract. Right, let's do one more game, because after this will be the official halfway stage of the league season. We'll end on this. Nottingham Forest heading into the game. We are currently above Man City on goal difference, and after Liverpool beat them yesterday and did us a massive favour at the Etihad, we've got a chance to go 3 clear at the official halfway stage with a big win here against what is, to be fair, an informed Forest side going for European football this year. Forest away at the City Ground, our final game today. Come on, you Royals. Sorry, my apologies. We're not away, we're at home in this game in Berkshire, and 37 minutes in, still tied at 0-0. And Amdouni does well to win it back there. Well done. That's what we're going to miss. If he does go in January, I'm not sure he will. I think we still might keep him because again he's under that contract. But as Harvey should have got his first goal of the season there. He tracks back, he wins balls back, he plays players through, he's top of the assist charts right now, like I said a moment ago. He's so good. As Owen Haynes gets us the opener with his first of the season. Is that an own goal though? Did that come off Mingueza last or is Owen claiming it? I think his second goal for the club has given us the lead, but is it an own goal? No, he's claimed it. You love to see it. That's his first of the season and his second in club history. We'll never know if he scored a goal when he was out on loan last year at Brentford in the Championship, but even so, that's another thing that I really want EA to improve on for career mode. Why can't you track historical stats over a player's career? After every season, they're reset. It's so frustrating, man, as Rodriguez finds Obafemi off the bench, who almost got our second, but that's something I really want to do as well. Track the stats over a career, not just a season, as Aspria's corner is headed away. And we still lead by 1. Oh, it's Bindon almost got our second. And that is going to do it. Reading are going to pass out the clock as we will make it 3 wins on the trot, extend what has been an amazing unbeaten run where we haven't lost in the league since that opening day defeat to West Ham. 3-0. What a response it's been since then, and it's why I always say, even if you have started off poorly, there's always time to turn the tide in your direction. Exactly what Reading have done. Halfway stage, 3 points clear. Let's take a look at the stats and the full league table, and we'll close the episode there. Yeah, a quick look at the league table to end today's episode off at the official halfway stage. Right now, 3 clear of Manchester City, and now had a better goal difference record with only 11 goals conceded in 19, making up for what is a low return in terms of goals, only 28 scored. But again, just the 1 loss coming on the opening day. What a response since then. We're also 10 clear of Chelsea and Wolves, who are in 3rd and 4th right now. The other European spots are Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs, Manchester United in 8th, and Forest and Everton wrap up the top 10, with the bottom 3 being Leeds, Crystal Palace and Brentford as well. And as for the individual stats, no surprises here. Haaland leading the way in the race to Golden Boot, 15 and 18, man. Just like in real life, you've got to have him in your fantasy team, otherwise you are missing out. To be fair to Amdouni, though, he's only got the 6 in 17, so not a great season in terms of goal scoring so far. He and Aziz both in the top 20, but he is 2nd in assist right now, only behind Ice Cold Palmer. Anderson is also in there with 6 in 19 in 4th place, but as for the race to the Golden Glove, going for his 3rd straight, it's Bennett once again jumping off to the best start. 11 clean sheets in 19 as he continues to chase that epic Petr Cech record. But that'll do it for today's episode of the Summer Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please do drop a like. Myself, you'll have a fantastic day and return in the next one with more big games in the league, aiming to stay top. FA Cup 3rd round against West Ham, and we'll play all through the January window and see if Amdouni stays or goes. Have a great day, much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.